This is Paul Stevenson, and I want to welcome you to the Strategic Mortgage Default System video series. This is the final video, video number 10 in the series, where I'm going to be talking about preparing for your life after your mortgage. First, let's talk about the motivation you have for considering strategic default. Presumably, there's some benefit that you believe you're going to receive once you have completed a successful strategic default and eliminated the problem mortgage from your life. Well, as Stephen Covey often recommends, it's important for you to begin with the end in mind. I'm going to suggest then that you focus now on the benefits you believe you will receive after you have found a successful solution and gotten rid of your problem mortgage. Doing so can provide you the motivation and the courage that you're going to need to put in the time and effort required to determine what is the best path for you, and then to put that process into action, because it's not going to be an overnight situation. Let's talk first if your motivation for considering strategic default is primarily emotional. In other words, if you just want to get rid of the constant pressure and stress and worry of having this problem mortgage hanging over your head every minute of every day, well, then you can focus on how good you're going to feel once you've eliminated this worry and been able to move on with your life. Now let's talk about if your motivation for strategic default is primarily financial. Then I would encourage you to focus on how much more clear your financial path forward is going to be without having this liability of a problem mortgage looming over your personal balance sheet. Now let's go a little bit deeper into what your financial life is going to be like after the mortgage is gone. First, I want to remind you that when I talk about after the mortgage is gone, this could be a long time in the future. It could easily take a year or more in order for you to come to a conclusion in a strategic default. So be prepared for the time frame we're talking about. But I would encourage you to consider now how you want to arrange your financial life in the future. Specifically, think about what risks are worth taking, and do you want to live with any debt in your life in the future? There's certainly something that can be learned from the experience you're going through right now, and I want you to make sure that your financial life in the future leaves you in a better position than where you are right now. Certainly that was an issue for me. Also, I would encourage you to think about the fact that you will be living with damaged credit and all of the effects that it will have on your life. This means that if you need to get a loan in the future, you may not be able to get it, or you may pay a higher interest rate. If you are looking to get a lease on a home or an apartment, the same thing may apply. You may not be able to get it, or you may have to pay more for it. And finally, it may even affect your ability to get certain jobs, because nowadays many employers are looking at credit scores before extending a job offer. Finally, I want to talk about something a little bit more touchy-feely, if you will. I want to talk about preparing for living your life after your mortgage. How do you want to arrange it? What is your life going to be about? Here's my personal recommendation, because it's what I've done after completing my strategic defaults, and it's worked quite well. Focus on simplicity in both your financial life and in your personal life. Let this very painful experience remind you forever of what parts of life are really the most important. Yes, it's nice to have a nice house and to have a lot of possessions and even to have a lot of money. But is that really what's most important to you? I'm going to guess that the pain you may be experiencing right now due to your problem mortgage may convince you that all of those things are nice, but not nearly as important as waking up in the morning and breathing some nice fresh air and not having a constant worry about financial pressures hanging over your head. Being able to be with your loved ones without constantly thinking about your mortgage. These are very important aspects of life, and perhaps you would agree that those are what are most important in life. So I urge you to give that some thought. And finally, I'd like to leave you with this. Enjoy life while you can, because you deserve it. I wish you the best of luck in resolving your problem mortgage situation. If strategic default is looking like the right move for you, I would encourage you to visit my website, or if you're interested, you can purchase the Strategic Mortgage Default System. Please visit at www.strategicloandefault.com.